Hi, this is Garrett with Grading Reviews, and it is time for a review of the new Shawn Mendes album, Shawn. I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not, but I think Shawn Mendes gets too much hate. I know that there are a lot of arguments about him and his music being bland, and yeah, there is some truth to that, but I can't bring myself to dislike the guy. Is it because my wife is a huge Shawn Mendes fan? Maybe. Does that make me whipped? Potentially. But I think the biggest reason is because everything about him and his music feels incredibly earnest, and I find the charm in that. This brings us to Shawn, his fifth studio album, which sees a bit of a switch up for him. Every song here is fronted by an acoustic guitar as Shawn embraces stylings of folk and country. This album is also showing a more vulnerable side of Shawn as he talks about his mental health struggles, his relationship with his audience, and his past failed romances. As a result, you get a nice little album with some pretty guitar playing and some pretty vocals. Nothing more, nothing less. He is definitely playing things very safe. The production lacks a certain rustic warmth to make this style of music fully engaging, and Shawn's writing is very surface level. I appreciate him attempting to get personal here, but I feel like he's constantly keeping me at arm's length, and I find myself having a hard time connecting to what he's saying. There are a few highlights. Why and Heart of Gold are the closest thing to pop hits that this album has, and they're both nice. They're catchy and sweet on the ears, and the energy they have is refreshing even if it is still sparse. Nobody Knows leans in a slightly more R&B direction, and I like how soulful Shawn's vocals get here. And Rollin' Right Along is a sweet little number that closes out the album nicely. Or at least it would if the album didn't end on a subpar cover of Hallelujah. I don't know why this cover is here, and it is definitely not needed. So while I do see where people are coming from, and I do agree to an extent, I can't bring myself to dislike this album. Again, it's the earnestness that wins me over, and it's a pleasant, albeit forgettable listening experience. It's the kind of music that you listen to right before bed to help you fall asleep. It's not something I'll actively listen to again, but knowing my wife, I'm sure I will still hear some of these songs in the foreseeable future. 5 out of 10. Closer to a 6 than a 4, although barely.